Hi everyone, I'm Andrew, and while How to Kill usually focuses on slashers, serial killers, and movie monsters, there's another adversary who might be even more resilient than Michael Myers. Bowser, King of the Koopas. This terrifying turtle has menaced the Mushroom Kingdom for well over 30 years, but if a simple plumber can take him down time and time again, then so can you. I believe in you. So snag some stars and stock up on shrooms because this is How to Kill Bowser.
Let's go!
Lucky for us and the brothers Mario, the reigning ruler of the Koopa clan isn't the sharpest knife in the drawer. Bowser has a very bad habit of living in places that are hazardous to his health, leading to plenty of deaths by unsafe environment. Bowser first appeared in what other game but Super Mario Bros. 1, although you don't actually run into Bowser until World 8. The first 7 Bowsers you fight are cleverly disguised body doubles, Goombas and Buzzy Beetles, forced to look like they're king through dark magic and die for his cause.
I'm so sorry. No.
It's easiest to see when you take the doppelgangers down with fireballs, but that's not how most players make Bowser meet his maker. See, the King of Koopas, he's got a real fetish for bridges. Tiny, easily destructible bridges suspended over a fiery pit of lava, and for whatever reason, his favorite hangout spot is just inches away from the axe that can bring the whole thing tumbling down. This scenario has played out over a ton of Mario games. You make it to the end of the level, you grab an axe or pound a switch, and send Bowser to a fiery death in a boiling pool of magma. Now, that's not always enough to kill him. Sometimes it merely strips the flesh off of Bowser's dry bones, leaving him a rampaging revenant until his son resurrects him in an unholy rite. Other times it sets him up for a size upgrade courtesy of Kamek, but in the end, it's still just a bridge too far. Zing! Death by drawbridge is probably the most common method of Koopa killing, but Bowser has put himself in plenty of other unsafe situations. For example, in Mario 3, Bowser has bricked up his bottomless pit, but after a few errant ground pounds, he crashes through and falls to his doom. You gotta build a good foundation. In Mario 64, he's on a slightly more stable platform, and even if he falls off, he can jump back just fine. But for whatever reason, Bowser decorated this domain with giant, extremely touch-sensitive mines that explode the instant Mario tosses him into them. I mean, I get it. If Mario gets tossed into them, then they blow up, but you're kind of taking a lot of chances, aren't you there, Bowser, baby? From Sunshine's giant tub with big red targets to the butt-roasting planetoid in Galaxy 1, Bowser has been bested by his battleground on too many occasions to count. When will he learn that successful conquest is all about 3 things? Location, location, location. Seriously, when you're making a last stand, maybe there's a more sensible choice than a giant POW block. This ain't the time to be practicing feng shui. Bowser's been brutalized by so many stage hazards, he should just set up shop at Final Destination. It wouldn't be a bad idea to turn items off either, because Bowser is constantly being killed by friendly fire. In Super Mario World, Bowser solved his gravity gaffes by taking to the skies in his Koopa clown car instead. And while his flying face is a fearsome opponent, apparently he never thought to build any weapons into it, because his main means of attack is throwing Mecha Koopas at Mario, which can easily be kicked back up at the tyrannical turtle. And after getting cracked in the face by enough clockwork Koopas, the dictator is just down for the count. Don't get me wrong, the cute little hover car was a great idea, but much like Dr. Robotnik, Bowser forgot the most important ingredient. A roof, dumbass. Without that, there's nothing stopping Mario from hopping in, hijacking his ride, and ripping Bowser to bloody shreds with the unprotected propeller. Ouch. Doesn't matter what kind of weapon he uses. Even when Bowser pulls a Thanos and drops 1,000,000 meteors on Mario, he just sends them flying back into his face. Should have taken a page out of Mario's book, Star-Lord.
Game over.
And lest you think boys have all the fun, Peach was able to turn the tables on Bowser too, by batting back his bob-ombs until he's blasted into oblivion. For Bowser's most recent romp in Mario Odyssey, the King of Koopas upped his fashion game by trading in his usual nudity for a spiffy white tux, complete with a top hat that really packs a punch. No, seriously, it punches you. It's pretty useless for ranged attacks though, so when Bowser flings it at Mario, the peerless plumber can take it himself and pummel his foe into a bloody pulp. Now this doesn't finish Bowser for good. He survives to get his proposal hilariously blown off by Peach and then is stranded on the f***ing moon, where he will presumably suffer a slow, painful death from oxygen deprivation. Speaking of slow, painful deaths, we should talk about the Super Mario Bros. Movie. Dennis Hopper's Koopa is a far cry from the bwahaha brute from the games.
The Lizard King, thank you very much.
But he's pretty much the best and only good part of the movie. He's a more suave, refined tyrant, but he makes the same mistakes as his pixelated peer. After a last-minute assist from the cutest bob-omb ever, Mario and Luigi use the dictator's own de-evolution guns to transform him back into a primordial soup.
See you later, alligator!
Campbell's Koopa Noodle Possibilities. Primordial soup. It was a cup of noodles joke. Laugh! Word of advice, Your Majesty, you need to learn some self-confidence. You're a 6-ton fire-belching dragon turtle with razor-sharp spikes. You don't need all the gimmicks. You can put away the tchotchkes. You can roast any rabble-rousers with just a single breath. At a certain point, you've got to put all those toys aside and believe in yourself. Of course, that goes both ways too, because Mario and pals can pack a mean punch and destroy Bowser through brute force. Going back to the bridges from the first game, you didn't actually need to touch the axe to topple Bowser. A few well-placed fireballs would also do the trick, because for the most part, destroying the devious turtle requires some performance-enhancing power-ups. In the obscure 80s anime, for example, it takes a cocktail of a super mushroom, fire flower, and a Starman to stop Bowser in his very first animated outing, which ends with Mario tossing the turtle by the tail 20 years before Mario 64. We love a callback.
So long, Bowser.
You won't always find enough power inside a question mark block though. Sometimes you need to bring in the big guns, like in Paper Mario, where the big guy uses the Star Rod to make himself invincible, until Mario and the Starlings take Peach's positive vibes and turn them into the Peach Beam that rips through Bowser's defenses and destroys him. When it comes to the various flavors of Mario RPGs, Bowser usually gets murked in the first act by a bigger, badder foe, like Smithy, Elder Princess Shroob, the Dark Star, etc., etc. But true to form, the Koopa King never stays down for long, even though he might have a nasty bout of amnesia or find himself possessed by an unholy evil. And when you do fight him, there are no traps or environmental hazards, just some turn-based ass-kicking courtesy of the Mario Brothers. Still, these scenarios are pretty rare, and for the most part, you'll find yourself facing off with Bowser in a pure platformer setting. If you've got a Yoshi on you, you might have the edge, because there's nothing better at killing Koopa Kings than a pissed-off dinosaur with a belly full of eggs. For Bowser's entire life, Yoshi has been mercilessly delivering dozens of eggs straight to his skull. Special delivery, motherfucker! Yoshi doesn't care if you're a baby or if you've magically grown hundreds of feet tall and turned into a Mode 7 sprite. He'll just poop out bigger eggs and beat Bowser to death with them. Bowser has been stomped, slammed, scorched, but never truly slain, unlike that wuss Ganon. Still, he should really consider an alternate career path because he's got children to think of after all. And he's a monster of so many talents. He's a tennis star, a hotel magnate, a mixed martial artist, and the best damn kart racer this side of Kong Island. Still, he can't seem to get over his princess fixation, and even after 30 years of taking a beating, I think it'll be a long time before we say, so long, Bowser, for good. Thanks for watching, everybody. I hope you like How to Kill taking on video game villains, so let me know what boss we should battle next. I know I threw some shade at Ganon, and I'd love to do an episode about him, so leave a comment, let me know. Please subscribe to Now This Nerd, and if you see Bowser Jr., for the love of God, find out who his mother is.